Hey everybody, it's Diandra Marie, and this is Get Your Life, where I put an aspect of your life on blast so you can get it together and ultimately get your life. Now today's topic is just mediocre management. And I'm obviously not talking about my current job because ain't nobody trying to get fired. But I will be talking about my past job experiences and just what some of my friends went through. Like, for example, when you get some of these minimum wage jobs, like, they work you to the bone as if they pay you like that. Like, excuse me, sir. You're paying me minimum wage. I think it's still $7.25. I don't know what it's up to now. You know, I've been a working girl for a while now. But you can't be working people to the bone like that. Like, you pay me minimum wage, you need to expect minimum wage work. You can't be, oh, do this, do that, and then yelling and getting upset with me. Like, you need to get your life. Like, I have a pretty good work ethic. I have actually a great work ethic. But don't get to the point where you're taking advantage of me because you gave me a job. You know, like, it definitely has to be more to it than, oh, I gave you a job, so you have to do whatever I tell you to do. Like, you need to get your life. Like, I'm a worker, but don't push me, okay? I will quit, and then you ain't gonna have nothing. And another thing that bothers me is that a lot of these minimum wage jobs, like, they cut hours. Like, this is some people's livelihoods here, you know? Maybe not for teenagers, but like older people, or like even people who are retired and just want to have something to do. Like, this is how people live and make their money, and you just gonna cut hours, and they do it just willy-nilly. Like, one week you working 30 to 40 hours, and then the next week you working 12 hours. How you gonna cut my hours into a quarter? You ain't even cutting it in half. You cutting it down to quarters. They don't even tell you. They just 40 hours, 10 hours. Like, what? And people make plans, you know? You telling your friend, oh yeah, girl, after I get this check, we gonna turn up at the club, and next thing you know, you standing in line 2 hours before the club opens so you can get in free because you just don't have the money to even ball out like that. And this is what really gets on my nerves with mediocre management. Employers that have this on-call thing. Now, for those who don't know what on-call is, it's basically you're not scheduled to work that day, but from like between the hours of 8 a.m. and 1 p.m., you could get called into work. Now, first of all, if I'm not scheduled to work, don't tell me that I could be scheduled to work. Put me on the schedule. If you need me between the hours of 8 and 1, schedule me from the hours of 8 to 1. Your day's basically ruined. If you wanted to go out or, spend time at a family's house who lives, let's say, 2 hours away, like, that's done because they might call you into work. Like, I just personally feel like being on call is just lose-lose. If you get called in, you lose because you have to work. And then if you don't get called in, you basically had from 8 to 1 to stay home or be in the area because you could be called in. Like, I don't know who came up with that, but Jesus, get your life. So for any of the managers or management that is following those points, please get your life. I'll say please because I know we in a working environment. Get your life. And don't worry, managers, I'll be sure to do an episode on some of these ratchet employees you guys have, okay? Because I know they need to get their life as well. If you want to follow me on all social media, it's Diandra Marie. You could go to www.itsdiandramarie.com to see my past interviews and event coverage, and subscribe to my website. That way you'll get an email as soon as something new comes up. So until next time, get your life. Go and have me on call. Like, I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always on time? Absolutely not.